Hello, I am socially impaired, and today I want to talk about the meanings behind the words that we use. Of course, every word has its own definition, but they also have their own meaning. There is what we say, and then there is what we are trying to say, along with the way that we say it and why. Now, to show you what I mean by this, I would like to use the term breaking news as my example. So this term used to actually mean something. It meant that a large or important story was breaking right now with new information on the way as the story continues to develop. This is what the term breaking news used to mean, but this is no longer the case. The reason for this is because CNN decided to treat virtually any story as breaking news. This, according to CNN, is breaking news. Yeah, just let that sink in for a second. The 102nd anniversary for the sinking of the ship Titanic is, according to CNN, breaking news. Okay, so maybe they just made a mistake with the Titanic story. Well, here's some more examples. This is just a small sample of CNN's relentless efforts to brand virtually any story as breaking news. This term has been so idiotically and unjustifiably used to describe virtually any story that it has lost most, if not almost all, of its original meaning. Which brings me to the word attack. Now, my most recent example is Donald Trump. So Trump sent out a few tweets. Quote, "I heard poorly rated #MorningJoe speaks badly of me. Don't watch anymore. Then how come low IQ crazy Mika, along with Psycho Joe, came to cannot pronunciate 3 nights in a row around New Year's Eve and insisted on joining me? She was bleeding badly from a facelift. I said no." Okay, so Trump criticized the ratings of the show Morning Joe, along with the sanity of the host Joe Scarborough, and he also decided to express his usual undignified and unpresidential attitude by criticizing a person's physical appearance. CNN reacted by saying that Trump was under fire for vicious attack on female news anchor. The White House responds saying that the media is creating a false narrative about the attack, and that it's the media who is attacking Donald Trump. The White House also does not think that the tweets went too far, which, according to CNN, is breaking news. So Trump's vicious attack on a female news anchor is not considered breaking news, but having the White House say that his tweets did not go too far is. Why? Okay, so the mainstream media is attacking Donald Trump. Trump is viciously attacking individual journalists, and pretty much everyone is attacking everyone. Okay, so I don't know about you, but when I hear that a person is being viciously attacked by another, I imagine them actually being attacked, like physically assaulting another person. But the word attack has now been so diluted that it can now just mean criticism. Granted, this, I think, is unwarranted criticism, but criticism nonetheless. Which brings me to Anita Sarkeesian. And for those of you who are not familiar with this individual, then I do recommend that you check out her content and the criticism of her content. But if I had to boil it down, then let's just say that this is a person who promotes the censorship of things like video games in order to fit her narrative that everything is sexist.
Everything is sexist, everything is racist, everything is homophobic, and you have to point it all out.
The letter K appears in this script 1,456 times. That's perfectly divisible by 3.
So what? So what you saying?
What am I saying? K appears in this script 486 times.
And this is how Anita deals with a member in her audience who has previously criticized her content.
If you Google my name on YouTube, you get shitheads like this dude who are making these dumbass videos that just say the same shit over and over again. And like, I hate to give you attention because you're a garbage human. Whatever, dude.
Now, in this video, she was addressing Sargon of Akkad in particular, But this is how Anita Sarkeesian overall treats her opposition. She believes, or at the very least acts, like these people are a bunch of shithead garbage humans who spew shit over and over again. Now, this is just my personal opinion, so please take it with a grain of salt, but I honestly believe that this is her projecting. It's like she's just describing her own content, poorly thought out concepts and easily debunkable ideas. And if she actually addressed some of her critics and engaged with her opposition, then she might not still be making these same old arguments about video games. Now, Sargon of Akkad, on the other hand, well, you really don't need to watch too much of his content before coming to the conclusion that he uses sound logic and legitimate criticisms when arguing against Anita Sarkeesian's positions. Sargon, along with several others, are the critics of Anita Sarkeesian, but that does not make them garbage humans, because being critical of someone else's ideas is not an attack. When you focus mainly or entirely on the criticism itself, then that is where people will focus their attention on, and force them to ask, what is the criticism, and is it justified? The word attack, on the other hand, distracts people away from the criticism, because it sounds more like an attack on the person, as opposed to saying that you're critical of this person and or their ideas. Now, by no means am I saying that every single person who uses the word attack instead of the word criticize is doing so for nefarious reasons. Anita Sarkeesian and Sargon of Akkad both use the word attack when describing criticism, but only one of them does so as a tactic, allowing them to deflect away from what is being criticized, as people focus more on the idea that this person was simply attacked. She also has both her rating system and comment section disabled on her videos, preventing her from engaging in a large portion of the criticism. Sargon of Akkad, on the other hand, has on multiple occasions reached out to the other side. He has made it abundantly clear that it is the criticism from others that allows him to build on his own ideas, or to have them reevaluated because of the counterpoints that his opposition makes. So yes, I do take issue with the way that the word attack is being used, but don't get me wrong. I have no problem with words having multiple meanings and definitions, or having them change and evolve to best describe what we're trying to say to one another. The point that I'm making is that these words in particular, in this context, does a really good job in distracting people away from what is actually happening. You see, it's not Anita Sarkeesian that I have a problem with as much as it is the tactics that she uses. She, along with several others, are very good at deflecting away from real criticism by putting the focus on the idea of being attacked. I mean, why deal with legitimate criticism when you could just label the whole thing as a bunch of haters who are trying to viciously attack you? This is playing the victim while demonizing the opposition, distracting people away from the actual criticism. Criticism is not an attack. We should all embrace opposition and the criticism that comes with it, because that is one of the best ways to reevaluate our own ideas and positions. If you really want your opposition to reevaluate their own positions, then engage with them. Talk to them and make your case. Now, I do not care to have morals and standards for others and then not apply them to myself. So, if anything that I have said is misleading, inaccurate, or just factually incorrect, then please express that criticism in the comment section down below. I welcome any form of criticism, whether it be about my ideas or myself as an individual. So basically what I'm saying is, don't hold back. If you got something to say, then say it, and I will hear you out.